How do you know when it's time to retire? It's a question that's both exciting and challenging. While being financially prepared is crucial, it's far from the only consideration. In this video, we'll be covering 8 key indicators that can help you decide when it's the right time to retire. Also, towards the end of the video, I'll reveal an increasingly popular alternative to traditional retirement that more Australians are embracing. I'm Cristiano, Managing Partner of Toro Wealth, where we specialise in providing retirement planning advice for 50 to 70-year-olds. I'm also the founder of superguy.com.au. If you're new here, make sure you click that subscribe button. Also, check out my free 6-step super check, which contains more helpful super-related tips. I've put the link in the description below. As always, this video is general advice only and does not constitute personal financial advice, so please read the disclaimer below. There's a variety of signs that will indicate to you that it's time to retire. Understanding the reasons behind why you are considering retirement will not only give you peace of mind that you are retiring for the right reasons, but will also factor largely into the retirement approach that you should take. Here's 8 considerations for you to think about. Number 1, have you reached your retirement age? Now, just to be clear, you are able to retire at any age in Australia. There is no law that requires you to work until a certain age. However, there are rules around the age that you can access your superannuation and when you become eligible for Centrelink age pension payments. And because affordability will play a major role in your ability to retire, the first retirement consideration in knowing when you can retire should be the retirement ages that are relevant to you. And there are 3 notable ages related to your retirement. The first one is age 60. This is the first time that you will have at least some access to your superannuation, regardless of whether you are working or not. Plus, if you have an employment arrangement come to an end after attaining age 60, you can generally have full access to the super that you've accumulated up until that date, even if you start work in a new role. The second notable age is age 65. Once you reach age 65, there is no restriction on accessing your superannuation. You have full access to your super from this age, even if you are still working. And finally, age 67. Age 67 is when you first become eligible for age pension payments, provided you satisfy the assets test and the income test, together with other criteria. As you can see, there are a number of ages relating to retirement. And once you know when you can access your super and age pension entitlements, the next consideration of knowing when to retire is to determine when you can afford to retire. Thankfully, there's a simple tool to help you figure this out. That tool is the government's Money Smart calculator. I've put a link to this tool in the description below. Now, with a handful of inputs, this tool can predict the annual income you're likely to get from your super depending on what age you decide to retire. Under the About You section, simply input your current age, your current income, your desired retirement age, and your current super balance. Then under the Advanced Settings Other section, add in whether or not you are a homeowner, the total value of personal investment assets owned outside of super, and one-off capital expenses that you will incur based on your retirement goals in the previous step. In this example, a 58-year-old earning $80,000 annually with a super balance of $500,000 could retire at 65 and achieve an annual retirement income of $61,000, lasting until approximately age 91. So go through this process yourself. Adjust your retirement age in the About You section to see how this affects the projected income. This will give you a clear idea of when you can afford to retire based on the annual income needed to comfortably cover your retirement expenses. Now, you might be able to afford to retire, but how do you know if the time is right? Have your priorities changed? This is another consideration in knowing when it's time to retire. There may come a point when you realize there's more to life than work. It might be time to explore that big old world out there, to see things that you've never seen, or indulge in hobbies that you've never had time for, or cherish more time with your loved ones now that you can afford to do so. Whatever your reason, a shift in priorities could be a sign that now is a good time to retire. A shift in priorities could also be coinciding with an unfulfilling job. Do you lack fulfillment in your work? Many of us seek fulfillment in our jobs. That fulfillment might simply come from being relied upon by others, or it could be a function of doing meaningful work as a service to your community, other people, or the world at large. But in this ever-changing world of red tape and bureaucracy, even the most gratifying roles can lose their charm, and fulfillment can slowly dissipate. Finding motivation when there's a lack of fulfillment can be difficult, and this could mean it's time to think about retirement. Even if lack of fulfillment or change in priorities isn't an issue, a desire to retire might instead stem from being burnt out. Are you feeling burnt out? For 30 years, you've given a very large portion of your life to your work, and there comes a point where that can be tiring. You get to a stage where you feel like you could sleep for a month or holiday for a year. Is it time to switch a work-related income stream for a retirement income stream? Or perhaps consider a transition to retirement pension to reduce your work hours, something most of our clients do, and a topic that I'll explain in more detail later on in this video. While feeling burnt out might mean retiring sooner and settling for a lower retirement income, it could well be your best option. What level of retirement income are you willing to sacrifice to get out of the rat race and retire early? Lack of fulfillment and feeling burnt out can also quickly lead to health issues. How is your health and well-being? Is it declining? The number one priority in all of our lives is health. Without it, we don't get very far. As we get older, we become more susceptible to health issues and our bodies generally take longer to bounce back. There comes a time when we need to prioritize our health above all else. And no one knows your health better than you yourself. And based on that, only you will know when it's time to retire for health reasons. Maybe health, a lack of passion for work, or feeling burnt out isn't even an issue for you. Maybe you're just really excited about all the things you want to do in retirement. I'm not sure about you, but personally, I don't think it would be too difficult to fill up a week's schedule in retirement. All those things that you've wanted to do but have never had time for can now become a reality once you're retired. Not only will you have access to superannuation to fund the expenses, but you'll also have time to do them without needing to wait until the weekend or being too exhausted to do so. Being excited for retirement might be the perfect time to retire. Just be sure that you're emotionally prepared for it. Are you emotionally prepared for retirement? It might seem hard to believe, but being emotionally prepared for retirement is extremely important. It's not uncommon for people to retire and feel lost, only to return to the comfort of work. After 30 odd years, work inevitably becomes a large part of your identity. The people you work with also become a large part of your life. As excited as you might be about retirement, just make sure that you're ready for it. Maybe speak to others who have retired and learn about their experiences, including any part of the transition that they found difficult. Now, if you're still unsure about when to fully retire, or you just aren't ready to commit to leaving the workforce entirely, there is an alternative that many Australians are adopting. One increasingly popular alternative to traditional retirement is transitioning into retirement. Transitioning into retirement involves gradually moving from full-time employment to part-time work over a period of years before completely retiring. And this approach allows individuals to access part of their superannuation while still working, provided they have reached age 60. There are a number of benefits to this, plus incentives for doing so. The first benefit of transitioning into retirement is that it allows you to get comfortable with retirement life without diving in head first. The second benefit is that you are able to maintain financial security with a part-time wage and supplement your income with a transition to retirement pension. The third benefit of transitioning into retirement is staying connected to the workforce so that you can return to full-time work if you want to. And finally, there's the possibility that you can achieve a higher pro rata after-tax income due to having a lower average tax rate. Transitioning into retirement offers a flexible and gradual shift from full-time work, allowing you to maintain financial stability and adjust your retirement life at your own pace. With the added benefits of part-time income and superannuation access, it's an appealing option for those not ready to fully retire. Retirement is one of life's most significant decisions, and understanding the right time to take that step requires thoughtful consideration of various factors, both financial and personal. Whether it's assessing your financial position, reflecting on your personal goals, or exploring alternatives like transitioning into retirement, having a clear plan is vital. To ensure that you're in the best position possible to retire on your terms, it's important to consider advice from a specialist retirement planning advisor. If you need help with your retirement plans, our financial planning firm, Toro Wealth, helps 50 to 70-year-olds optimise their financial position in the lead up to retirement and feel confident about retirement. Go to torowealth.com.au to find out more. If this video was helpful, remember to click the thumbs up button to show that you liked it and the subscribe button for more content.